The suicide rate among the Americans from 1999 to 2000 increased by a great amount because of financial problems. There are 102 million US residents at their working age that don't have jobs.
I think the unemployment rate in the US being about 5% at the moment is not a huge problem, although there is definitely a lot of room for improvement. 5% is already much lower than when it was about 10% at its peak, or at the worst time of the since the financial crisis. But unemployment rate can create a lot of social uneasiness. Other than the economic impact, also when you have a lot of people unemployed, the crime rate would tend to also rise. But exactly what percentage is appropriate, it also depends on the nature of the economy. And if the employment rate is very low, it also makes companies more difficult to hire new employees and restrict their potential to expand. So in my view, I think about 2 to 3% unemployment rate would be the ideal level. That's my personal opinion.
Unemployment leads to suicide, poverty, and divorce, and these fatal factors have increased in a great amount throughout the years.
When I hire someone for my company, I would look at both the education and their work experience. Which one I value more depends on the position and the person I interview. If the person is relatively young, without much work experience, obviously I will emphasize more on their work at school, like their favorite subject and what kind of things that they have achieved in school. And if this is a position that requires more skill, for example for the machinist, then I would look at the experience over the education, because for a lot of jobs, at least in the manufacturing industry, the work experience or their past experience or achievements are still very important in terms of how they can perform the job in the future.
The imbalance may be caused by inadequacy in skills, location, or person characteristics. Some employers began to hire more people, but some weren't because they weren't absolutely sure the economy will stay strong. Some companies also put space limitation to how many people they're trying to hire. Many people say that it's not the companies aren't hiring more people, but because the people aren't getting enough education.
I think the main reason for unemployment, especially nowadays with the computer age dawning on us, is that companies don't have a need to pay money and hire the extra workers. They can have few people program a computer that can do the work for them.
Bureau of Labor Statistics reported unemployment rate fell to 5.8% because people started to return to labor force. The solution for unemployment is to create new jobs or to hire new people into the company.
I think the government should try to solve unemployment by creating more jobs for the unemployed. But companies have to be willing to hire also, and the government should help with that. And yeah, it's easier said than done, but if this actually works, then unemployment rate will go down. Yeah.
There are two basic types of fiscal policy. The most widely used is expansionary.
If you talk to the people in Vermont, and I suspect in any other state in America, they will tell you that the most serious crisis facing this country is the lack of decent paying jobs, particularly when it comes to young Americans. This is an issue we do not talk enough about, and this is an issue we have got to focus on.
Well, as a forward-thinking company, we are always looking into utilizing new technology. And I think technology does have an effect on how we hire people. But the effect is not so much on the quantity, but more on the quality of the people we hire. With new technology such as new computer system, new database, or new manufacturing equipment, we would require more skilled workers. So we would look at more particular skills that is required to fulfill the job. But I see this as a way for the company to become more competitive and also helps the company to grow. So the technology would not affect the number of people that we hire. There are usually two reasons why the company will fire people. One is when the company is downsizing and we just do not require so many people in the workforce. Fortunately, that has only happened once when the financial crisis hit, and after that we had all came back to the previous level, and we have hired most of the people back. The second reason would be due to the employee themselves for poor performance, but we would always give them some warnings in advance. So we like to make sure that they understand the reason that the company has not been satisfied with their performance, and we will give them a few times to correct themselves. However, if the problem persists and we do not see a sign of improvement, or we have just feel the employee has not been capable or competent for the position, then from time to time we do fire people for that reason.